We're going to let activist Frank O'Gorman speak right now, and hopefully Nashawn will hear some of that, and hopefully there'll be some healing going on. We just had a rabbi speak. You know what? Not all white folks are horrible, Nashawn. A whole bunch of them are here to be supported, and we're here to change perceptions, and we're here to do the work. So Frank, come run your mouth.
Thank you. My heart goes out to Nashawn and his family, as obviously the pain of this attack is still fresh, and the injustice of nobody being held accountable still sears through their hearts. I also want to salute Nashawn, because what I saw a second ago, I saw a man who is dealing with his pain and willing to take the next steps that he needs to take to have a voice and to rise above the injustice and the hate crime that he experienced in his body. So I salute him. He is the man in this situation, and the white thugs who beat him up, they were not men. Nashawn is the man, so I salute you, Nashawn. I just want to say, the Plainfield police, working with the FBI, in 9 months could not make a single arrest. That raises the question, are they protecting the perpetrators instead of defending the rights of the victim? And as people have said here today, if white Connecticut can be outraged by what happened in Cheshire, surely we can be equally outraged by what happened in Plainfield. And if the Plainfield Police Department and the FBI cannot solve the case of Nashawn's attackers, then it's time the State Attorney General and the state resources of the state police became involved in this case. Until that happens, there will be no justice for Nashawn. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. And as those of us who are activists and we've been around, we've been watching all kinds of great civil rights videos for our whole lives. Let's see, we know no justice, no peace. Well, that's where we're going right now. We've tried really hard to work with the town of Plainfield. We've been there. We've had conversations. We've talked, where is this investigation going? What can we do to help you? What can this family do to help you? Well, as Frank just said, in 9 months, the FBI and the police couldn't do anything to fix it. So now it's kind of time for us to get out there and figure out what our investigation is. So you know what, people? We're going back to Plainfield. We're going to be a physical presence in the town of Plainfield again. We will be in the town of Plainfield, to raise awareness, but also to ask our own questions and see where we can go with this and see what we can do to bring justice to this family. So I want to thank everyone for coming here today. Thank you so much for giving up some of your Saturday morning, but go home and do something else. Google Nashawn's case and then send the stories that you get off to your whole email list. Talk to people. Share this work with your family. And even better than that, make eye contact. Before today is over, make eye contact with someone who has nothing to do with you, someone who looks nothing like you, someone who you know you have nothing in common with, and say, hello. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. So town of Plainfield, we'll see you guys soon. We're going to be looking you in the face and we're going to be saying, hello. We're going to be making those connections, and we're going to heal this so that this family doesn't have to deal with this anymore, and so that my family doesn't have to deal with it anymore, so that no one's family has to deal with this anymore. Thank you.
Francis Davila, talk about why you're here today.
Well, I'm here standing as a man of color, as a Latino, Hispanic, Puerto Rican, but also as a human being. I am a father. I also have a son, and the last thing I want is for my son to get beat up like that, or any other human being. When we speak and think about this whole incident, so it seems to me there's a passion, and a cause. And I will do whatever it takes in order to educate people to see if we can become part of the solution and not part of the problem. Mm-hmm. It's too bad that still in the year 2008, in this century, racism is still alive and kicking here in the country where we're supposed to be the champions of freedom. And that's a shame for me. It speaks really about how this country, as much as there's some progress going on, we stay in the same old place. So I'll do whatever it takes with other people, with other activists, being white, black, Latinos, Asians, whoever it is, straight, gay, whatever, again, you know, to make sure that this cause goes further and that we do whatever it takes to undo racism.
Why, you mentioned all those groups sort of coming together. Why do you think it's such an important thing for those groups to come together rather than to fight those battles individually?
Because I think the only way that really you can win a good battle is working together with everybody. And some of these groups that I have already mentioned, in one way or another, maybe probably all of those groups, have felt either racism or prejudice in one form or another. So it seems to me like since we have something in common, then we have the opportunity to really work together for that common purpose, which is, again, to fight racism, prejudice.
One more thought too. There's obviously white folks represented in the group that have taken on Nashawn's fight here. How do you feel about that? Why do you feel it's important for white people who, you know, may not be as directly affected by the racism? Why do you suppose it's important for those folks to be concerned about this and active in fighting for it?
Well, you know, because my understanding is, as people of color and other people are attacked, you know, in one way or another, then obviously the common response of human beings is to counterattack, you know. I don't think that's a solution. But again, not everybody thinks the way that I'm, you know, expressing myself right now. You know, if there's been a lot of prejudice or racism against Puerto Ricans, and I want to fight that with education, and you know, I feel like that's the proper way to really fight it. I know that most Puerto Ricans are not going to think that way, and if I am attacked personally, you know, well, I'm still going to fight as much as I can, not to then attack somebody else, also personally. But not everybody thinks that way, and I think that a lot of white people obviously then might find themselves in positions where Latinos, Hispanics, blacks, you know, gays might attack also them, and again, for me, that's not the solution.
Great, thanks so much for talking to me today.
It's always great talking to you. Thank you so much also for asking me all these questions. Take good care.
Because I have to be strong for my son. I just want the best for my son, and I just want us to move on. Even though we live in Norwich, the pain is still there. It's like every day that I get up and I look at Nashawn, it hits me. And I wish I could change those people, but I can't. They have to change themselves. The only one I can change is Nashawn. So fight. I can't give up. And I told Nashawn I'm not going to give up. If I die fighting for what's right for him, that's what it's going to be. But I don't want no violence. I just want justice for my family. That's all I want.
Did you have a t-shirt for him?
Yes.
Nashawn, I guess, I know it's hard. Simple question for you. I remember the day in Plainfield. It was 5 degrees. We were out there. There were all these people out there. For a 17-year-old guy like you, what are you? You're in high school, right? What's it like for all these people to rally around you?
There's a good feeling that I know people that up there that really, really feel what I felt.
How you doing now? You in school or you? No.
This is before the article.
Just taking it. What we say? We're taking it one day at a time, or? Okay. But you're in Norwich now, Nashawn? Okay. And today, I mean, obviously, getting in front of TV cameras and all this, difficult for you?
Yes.
Cornell, Lewis, it dawns on me that the Williams family has had to move, or they felt compelled to move out of Plainfield.
Right.
Is this a sign? Again, given racial tensions in general, is this a sign of a sort of re-ghettoization of people of color?
I would think so. I think where people of color move and they're in the minority, the majority really doesn't want them there, so they get them out of town through terrorism. And it's like they run them back to, as you said, a place where they think, the majority think they need to be, Norwich. They didn't want Nashawn and his kind in that town of Plainfield, Connecticut.
Right, right. And so what are the steps that you're planning to take now as they move forward?
The steps we're planning to take is we're going to go to the city of Plainfield, and we're going to descend upon the town like a plague of grasshoppers and commit some social agitation. We're going to send letters to the state and to the governor asking for them to look into this, and also we're going to call the police to task.
Great. Thank you so much, Cornell.